back to Spirit of the Outdoors. We fixing to can some tomatoes. We just went and picked 2 buckets of tomatoes. I got a dish pan full of tomatoes up here. And we did not pick all the tomatoes. We just picked the right ones. I don't want to overload myself, have too many to can at one time. The next thing is I got to go in there and get my pressure canner. I'm going to be canning some meat that I have as well. Some of you may know what meat that is. We're going to can this meat. I'll briefly mention how to do that. We'll get deeper into how to do that in the fall. This is really the first time I have canned meat, so I'll just kind of mention. I'm not teaching you how to do anything. Follow what I'm telling you here, hand. So I got 2 5-gallon buckets of tomatoes. Now what I do is I got this wash pot, we call it. Some of y'all gonna call it a cauldron. Down south, that's a wash pot. We got this wash pot up here heating up with water. We'll drop them tomatoes in there. I went to Frank Tank's, found me another one of these big dippers right here. Got me a brand whooping new one. So I drop them in there. I can dip them out of that hot water, and then I've got some water in a red bucket over there that has got ice in it. Drop them in that for a few seconds and get them out, and that peeling will just slide off. So the green bucket is to throw the cores, peelings. You got to cut the green out of them. Once I get that done, they're going to go into the stainless steel pot up here, and we're going to start cooking them. And then once we cook them, we just merely going to dip them over into the jars, wipe the top, put the top on it, screw it down. I used to water bath them. I have got an old video on water bathing them, but I have learned that water bathing them will make them separate. I didn't know what was causing that. Don't hurt nothing. It seals, it works. You just got to shake it all up good before you get ready to do what you're going to do. So anyway, some of you may have noticed I got this bracelet on. I ain't started wearing jewelry. I don't like jewelry. I don't like this dangling on my arm. But I had a friend of mine said that copper on there around it will help that elbow. So we see it. So if you see that, y'all, I haven't went to wearing jewelry. This is like, we're going to see if this works. And actually, all that is some copper wire I twisted up with the drill out there. You know how old redneck does things. So we're going to do this about the same way. So y'all hang with us. I'm going to drop one in there. These, and I'm going to pull the stems off before I do, but I got a whole tomato. I'm just going to drop it in there. Oh. So all of these, some of them right here, like I got some tomatoes that's got bad spots on them. So what I don't want to get that too awful close to my So what I do is make sure you cut anything like that off and then drop it in there. So I'm throwing stuff in this bucket. So while I'm doing this, I was gonna show y'all, I was at the Jerome Tanks, got me another big old dish pan. I mean, they had them for like $6, $8. I was tickled over that. That right there, the whole thing. I'm gonna throw it away. So I gotta go get my stuff to start my meat. I got several tomatoes in there. Now they don't have to stay in there long, okay? Alright, y'all, I got these. Let me show y'all. Look at this. After they've been in it, look at how that peeling just, look at that. Y'all, if you can, and peeling tomatoes any other way, you're doing it wrong. I mean, that is the way. So what I'm doing is getting them out of this hot water, dropping them down in that cold water, and I already got some of them in there, so look at there. I mean, ain't nothing to it. And then I'm sticking that in there and cutting that core, getting the green out of that tomato, and look at there. So I got to do that with all of them. And then right here, you can see I got a few. I got to fill that back up, but Then I'm putting them in here. So we just getting started. And then once I get this about half full, then I turn the fire on and I get them up to where they simmering, cook them a little bit, and then I'll get my jars, Michelle's in there washing jars right now, getting them ready to go. And when she gives me some clean jars, then we got the pressure canner we're gonna put some meat in. And a little yellow. And this is a little bad. Yeah, ain't enough of that left to say. Look at there in that hot water, the skin's really already just falling off. Way faster, y'all. I wouldn't steer you wrong, I promise you. I ain't like some of these folks just be doing stuff because I saw it on another video somewhere and don't know if it's real or good or not. I be doing this stuff because I know it works. Look at that. Look at that whole skin just come off. Decided to get my little fish now because I can get in there. You just want to cut that core out. That fish knife got way more than one use, ain't it? Look at that. Alright, y'all, I'm gonna get all these done and I'll pick y'all back up when we start something different here. Okay, so canning the meat is out because I had this over full of tomatoes and I got a bigger pot over at the shop, but I didn't want to go over there, so I just got this other little one out. I'm gonna sort of do whole tomatoes in here. Now I throwed them whole in there, but I took this long fillet knife. It's pretty sharp, and I just kept moving it around in there to the sides till I have cut this stuff up pretty good. There's probably some bigger pieces, some smaller pieces, no big deal. Michelle's got an immersion blender so that you can stick it in there and it'll make chop suey out of everything. But I didn't see the need in it. So we're gonna let this cook. I'm gonna turn it up. I had turned that down, so now I gotta light this one over here. I got that one down there cut off. Y'all, that is the first time I have fired that wash pot up. And it works good. Now, this canning out here where I can make my mess and slop around, man, a lot faster. I ain't got to do a whole bunch of cleaning up. There we go. So I like this. So what we'll do is we'll can that meat in another video. I know I'll be telling y'all I'm gonna do something and I change my mind about halfway through what I'm doing, but that's the way I live my life. I don't plan nothing. I'll be like, yeah, I'll tell somebody I can do something for you a little bit, and then about halfway through I'm like, man, I can't. I'll be wanting to, and I'm like, yeah, I can't do that. So I'm fixing to quit telling anybody I'm gonna do anything until it's over with, and I'll say, hey, I did this. I don't mean to be telling the story, and I believe in being a man of your word. If you say you're going to do something, you need to do it until something goes awry. When other folks don't do like they're supposed to do, then I feel like, okay, all contracts is off. And so I am getting some of these down in there, and I'm gonna pull what's on the bottom up here and stir in it where it don't get burnt to the bottom. See, there's a whole tomato. This one over here, I'm gonna leave them whole and I'm gonna can them whole. So. Now, y'all, this is all, I'm going to mention this. I know everybody loves some Cherokee purples, all that. I love the hillbilly potato leaf. I don't can any of those tomatoes no more. This is all Better Boy, mostly Celebrity. I got one plant that's a park swapper, and a lot of it off of 5 plants, is the big beef. Next year, my only tomatoes is going to be, I'm going to plant my hillbilly potato leaf because I love to eat them. We'll do a sandwich making with one here pretty soon. Now that it started raining, they'll grow a little. And then I'm going to plant the big beef to do what I want to do as far as canning. And I will plant the Romas because she likes those to make that pasta and stuff. Pasta sauce. That done got pretty hot. So anyway, what we're going to do from this point, we'll let these cook, I don't know, 15, maybe 20 minutes. You ain't got to cook them no whole lot. I'm going to let this big pot cook a little more than probably that. We'll get the jars over here. We're going to put 1 teaspoon of salt in the bottom, and we're going to put our tomatoes in the jars and put the lids on. That is the whole deal, okay? So anyway, hang with us. We'll get that set up. All right, y'all, we got our salt in here. We got a teaspoon of salt in these jars. This dipper is actually a little bit big for what we are doing. I'm gonna let you wipe them off.
This far with
I thought you were supposed to leave some head space.
this, it goes go right here to the right.
That better.
Yeah.
Y'all, we have, like I said, we have water bathed them in the past, and they separate. Some of them won't. Some of them will do perfect, but a lot of times they'll separate. And y'all, when we put Cherokee purples and stuff in there, they would burn. You can't get those to really can. That's why I don't fool with them no more. Now, you see what I just did here?
You overfilled it?
Yeah, that spoon's too big. And that big chunk. Get on, fly. We didn't need this set right here, did we? See, then it dropped way down. Boy. Now I got it. We'll figure it out. I don't know how many jars we're gonna wind up with, but they're gonna be a heap of them. Go on, bug. That ain't even a fly. That's some kind of wasp looking thing. And somebody suggested to rub vinegar around the top would help. But I think anybody that does it slightly different. So you have to find out the way you like to do it. I got whatever that thing was in. I keep getting that over in the jar. You know, these jars, we warming them up with water in them in the microwave to get them somewhat warm. And then we pouring the water out and adding the salt. So. We bad needed a smaller bit. Ow, that was warm. So far, we got 13 jars. I'm over here on the whole tomatoes now. And y'all, I ain't being real precise with that salt. I'm gonna tell y'all a funny story while I'm doing this. Let me turn the camera up a little bit. Back when me and Michelle first started trying to learn to garden and can, we was living in that trailer out yonder. And we was young, we didn't know nothing. And I got excited. We had a good garden one year. It was one of the first ones that I'd really ever done good at. We had a bunch of tomatoes, and man, we was canning them. We didn't know how to can nothing. So my mama was helping us, telling us, you know, what to do and how to do it. And she told us to put a teaspoon of salt in there. Well, me and Michelle didn't. We, you know, I've always been one. I don't win at stuff, you know. We wound up putting about 2 tablespoons of salt in there, y'all. When we get to making stuff out of it, it was so salty, you take a bite of it and it just burned your tongue when you went to eat them. I told her, I said, I bet we still got some of them in there somewhere. Them good memories, ain't they?
Yep.
So it's all right if you're doing this and it messes up. That's how you learn. We all learn the same way, most of us. It's very rare that stuff goes perfect the first time or two. I didn't put no salt in this one yet. So that's why I learned not to overdo the salt. But you know, if you're making stews and stuff out of it, it don't hurt a whole lot because you add a lot of salt to them and you're adding water to it. But what was bad is when we just want to make some tomato soup in there, you know, and eat it with cornbread. Y'all ever eat that? Just tomato soup, no cornbread. I don't believe we're gonna need all them other jars. So we can save you other wide mouth and put the meat in. There's a celebrity. You gonna come here and talk at any of these folks? He's in his drawers again. He stays in his drawers. Pork chop's coming Friday. Who? Hey. Who?
Are you okay?
Come in. Who'd you say was coming?
Pork chop.
You just made somebody's day, buddy. I can tell you that already. Well, we almost filled that jar up too. If we'd have cooked one more of them other tomatoes. That boy's a mess. I'm using this warm water over here, y'all, to wash my stuff. And that's right there can just about hang right under.
So we got 16 quarts.
16, counting this one.
Well, 17, counting that half.
We'll probably wind up having to put this in the refrigerator. It might seal and it might not. I need a ring. Where you go, I need a ring.
Put these back in there.
Alright, y'all. Y'all forgive our mess over here now. I'll show y'all where we look at here.
You tell it's garden.
Yep. We got, and there's one tomato I should have canned. It's laying there. So anyway, hey, thank y'all for watching Spirit of the Outdoors. Remember, the best way to do things. Y'all see that hammock? Get that boy. That hammock, get you. Get over here. Come here. Look, come here. Remember, the best way to do things. The way you like to do it. We'll see y'all. Y'all have a good one.